Hello again, friends. Welcome back to Hogwarts Library. I missed you. So, today what we're going to be doing is going through my bookshelf, and we're going to be finding all the books that I either already read and don't care about anymore, or that I haven't read and I'm probably not going to read. We're gonna find all those and we're gonna take them off the shelf and we're gonna pack them up in some big old storage containers, and we're gonna take them, not today, but we're gonna take them to a half price books and we're gonna sell them. And then I'm gonna tell you how much we get from that. Probably not much. I've sold books at a half price books like 2 different times, and I think the most I got was like $70, which is fine. They're used books. They're going to a used bookstore where I then used that $70 to buy a bunch of books because their books are not that. It really depends on the location, or so I've been told. The location changes how much they give you and how much their books cost. I'm not going to buy any books there. I'm just going to sell my books there and then skedaddle. So that's what we're gonna do. That does mean that we have to go inside, so the lighting's gonna be worse once we get in there. I'll do my best, but I can't, I've got a big window in there, but can't make any promises. All right, I'm gonna let myself sit out here in the warmth like a little lizard. And I'll tell you what, I'm like a lizard in more ways than one, because I burned the crap out of my back, and it is peeling like a gross little gecko shed. It is so nasty. That's all right. We're gonna be fine. Okay, we're inside. I'm gonna need to put my hair up. Sorry I look junk, but it's about to get worse. So I'm gonna this little pull those little bits out because that makes all the difference. Wow, that little bit is giving like early 2000s, late 90s, like punk girl from a movie. Like that girl from, that one, the Lindsay Lohan one. Also, it wouldn't be one of my videos if we weren't snacking. It's literally a sausage. Happy Independence Day. This is gonna sound dumb. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like the Marie Kondo method. Sort of, like essentially, basically, where I pick it up and I look at it. And if it doesn't spark joy, deuces, Except I'm gonna be a little bit more selective than that, because there's a lot of books on here that, like, I would love if I would read them. But I'm not cooperating. And I keep remembering that verse, store up your treasures in heaven, for where your treasures are, there your heart will be also. And I don't want to keep all these books that I'm not reading, dude. Like, there are books on this shelf that I have had for years. I bought the His Dark Materials series for a challenge, and I never read it, and I don't care about that challenge anymore. Why is this on my shelf? It's been on my shelf since I was living out by the lake. Do you know how long? I've had 2 homes since then. That's a long time. This book has been to 3 different houses with me. That's plenty, I fear. I fear that that's just about enough, I think. So it can go. Also, I don't know if I'm going to explain why I'm getting rid of all of these. I'm also not going to explain why I'm keeping all the ones that I'm keeping. I will say this book, When Dimple Met Rishi, there is some topics in here, if I'm remembering correctly, that I don't really agree with. That being said, my grandma got me this book for Christmas a few years ago, and my grandma has since passed away. And I really liked this book when I read it. Am I going to reread it? No, probably not. But my grandma got it for me. And it is really special because it's a signed copy. And I know that she thought that this would make me really happy. And it did make me really happy. And I am gonna keep it because my grandma got it for me, and my grandma's not here anymore. So we're keeping it. I just opened this book to see what it's about. Girl, tell me why I started reading this at one point. I got 4 pages in and said, all right. I don't even remember ever picking this book up. I want you to know I love me and my cousin used to fight about, not fight, but disagree about whether it was Casey or Cassie West. I don't know. I don't care. She's a great author. I really, really enjoy her stuff. From what I remember, it's all clean. And it's just like sweet little contemporary, little cute little stuff. Plus a lot of her characters suffer with anxiety, which is something that I used to deal with really heavily and something I still occasionally deal with, and like panic attacks and stuff like that. And I asked her on Goodreads one time why she always includes characters that struggle with those things. And she said she was inspired by her daughter who struggles with those things. So that's why I have a lot of her books, is because I really used to enjoy her writing. I don't have any idea what this book is about. Not a single clue what this book is about. So this is like a high school romance. Someone's teenager will enjoy this much more than I will. I will never knowingly pick this up because it is a high school. I assume these kids are like 16. I just don't find it relatable. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's a wonderful book and I love this author. I think people should definitely support this author. That being said, no thank you. Not for me. I'm really torn on this one. This is What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard. I do not remember this book nearly enough to recommend it to you. I don't know what the language is like in this book. It is about a 16-year-old girl with an eating disorder. She gets sent to a treatment center for girls with eating disorders. That's what this whole book is about. I read this at a time that I was really, really struggling, not with an eating disorder, but I was just struggling mentally and I wanted to relate to the characters that I was reading about. And I really enjoyed it at the time. I don't really know why I'm hanging on to it. I don't see me ever reading it again. Maybe it's because I liked it so much that I want to keep it. I just don't remember. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it on my shelf just for today and tomorrow. See how I feel. And if I still want it after that, then I'll keep it. But otherwise, I'll put it in the box. It's another one of Cassie West's books, Casey West. I'm so struggling to get rid of her books. This one is, again, it's about high schoolers. So, like, should I have a nostalgia shelf? Like, one little portion that I keep just for nostalgia's sake? Because the other the other one of her books, I don't feel like I need to keep because I don't even remember it. I never read it. This one I read, and I vaguely remember, which is saying a lot because I would have read it when I was like 16, which was 10 years ago.
Here's a little something you may remember from the good old days.
So I'm gonna say I get a nostalgia shelf, just one portion of shelf that I get to keep just for nostalgia's sake. And if later on I decide like this is dumb, why do I have this? Then I can get rid of it. But right now I want to keep it. I know a lot of you just saw me put my Left Behind series in that box. I ain't gonna explain myself. I'm just not gonna read it. I don't have a reason. There's no reason. I just have had it for a long time and I don't think I'm gonna read it. So if I decide to, I'd rather read it on my phone anyway. I read better on my phone. I have Angels and Demons by Michael Heiser. I really want to read these, but Michael Heiser is like very academic. Like, look at this, dude. That whole portion of page is just him citing sources. That whole portion is just the source material. Oh my gosh! Shut up. That is all cited source. Dog, I'm not gonna read this. I want to, because like this topic is so interesting to me, and I love Michael Heiser. Like, I think he was very, very smart. I think he was weird about a couple things, but I think he was very, very smart. And I want to have these on my shelf because I feel like they make me look smart. But if I ever read these, it's gonna be listening to an audiobook. I'm not gonna be able to read this. I know me well enough to know I'm not going to read this. Hold on, does this one have the citations like that too? Yeah. Shut up. That's a whole cited source. Not dogging on these books, but I know what I'm like, and I can't read academic books like this. I will just read the words and forget what they were. Have any of y'all read this book? Be Loved by MMA Jenkins. I don't really know what it is. I'm not gonna read this. I'm not gonna read this. Sorry. I have nothing bad to say about her as far as I know nothing at this point in my life about her. This book, Spiritual Life Hacks, I've had this on my shelf for forever. I'm gonna be real with you, life hacks don't really work for me. I don't know why. I just know that this isn't gonna work for me, so I've had this for years, and it's I ain't gonna read it, so goodbye. I brought this book to work with me one day. Sometimes the kids have me draw them stuff. And there was like a season where they wanted me to draw them dinosaurs riding sharks. And that's what they got. And I was told that this one was not very impressive by a 3-year-old, so Took that crap home because I felt bad. I was unsure on whether I wanted to keep Secluded Cabin Sleep 6, but I got that far into it and evidently forgot that I even picked it up. So I guess it can go because I had no idea if I'd read it or not. I was pretty sure I hadn't, but I thought maybe I did. If I did read it, I listened to it on audiobook and didn't finish it physically, so it can go. If I did read it, I don't remember it. I've seen some of y'all talking about this. Sorry. I'm sorry. She met the guy who plays the guitar at her church. Ooh, that makes me want to laugh. I don't know, it's just very like, I don't know, it doesn't matter what it is. It made me laugh, but it's okay. We're not gonna judge it. We're gonna have some ramen when we're done. It's Jane Austen, so I want to keep it. But am I gonna even like this? Just after the Second World War. That's like so not my time period. It's on thin ice. So, I have a lot of these Love Finds You books. This one is Love Finds You in Lonesome Prairie, Montana. I am keeping them hesitantly. I've heard many, many, many good things about them, and I've got a lot of them. And I'm going to reorganize my bookshelves so that I can keep them all together. Right now, we're obviously in rainbow order, but I need to reorganize anyway. So I'm going to do that and put all of the Love Finds You books next to each other, probably in release order. That might honestly kick me in the butt to actually read them. We'll see about that. Snack number 2, by the way. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that I lost 80 pounds. I don't know how that happened because I am munching all the time. Have y'all ever read this? I feel like I have not seen nearly enough people talking about A Lady in Attendance. I read this a couple years ago. It was so baller, dude. You've got to check it out. I'm actually like, every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh, should I reread that? I haven't done it yet, but Rachel Fordham, if you have not read anything by her, sorry, my battery's on 20%. If you have not read anything by her, everything that I've read by her has been a 100% hit. It's been so good. I've liked everything that I read by her. This is the first book I ever read by her. Really, really so good. So good. Secret of the Night Ponies. I know that sounds dumb. It is. I read this book when I was in no. I don't know if 5th grade is considered middle school. It was still in my elementary school building. So I think that's still elementary school. I read this in 5th grade. It's about a girl, a young girl who is trying to save a group of wild ponies, like on the, I think she lives on an island. She's trying to save this herd of wild ponies. She's like an orphan girl. I don't remember much about it, but like I remember weird snippets. Like, this was one of the books that like got me into reading. I'm not getting rid of this book. Do you want to know the book that got me into reading, by the way? Because it's really gonna surprise you. I've always liked the idea of reading, but all I knew about myself for a really long time was that I liked animals. I don't know how to tell you this. I've never liked books about animals. I liked this one, but like those vet books, like these, you know what I'm talking about, like these ones. I just never cared about them. Like, I tried to read Martha Blah Blah when I was a little girl. I couldn't stand that book. I was like, this is so boring. I'm so bored. I didn't like the Pony Pals books. And it's like, all I care about is animals, so what am I supposed to read? One year, at a library book fair at my school, on a whim, I picked up it was like 600-page book. I'll have to check how many pages it actually was. It was a bind up of 3 books in one, and it was a murder mystery. It was like I don't know what age group it's made for, probably 13 plus, and that's right about where I was. And I read this book in pretty close to one sitting. I read this book. And then I reread it. It got so bad, I was only reading this book over and over and over and over again. I'd read this book. I loved it so much. It got so bad. 2 of my English teachers had to come to me and tell me. Like, they had an intervention where they came to me and they told me, you need to read something else. There are other good books out there. And you know what I read next? The Hunger Games. You know what I got obsessed with next? That is correct. It's The Hunger Games. Oh boy. I have a personality type that is going to be the death of me. Okay. So this one confuses me because I loved this book when I read it. This is Under Rose-Tainted Skies, and I loved this book when I read it, and I read it because the main character had a lot of mental health issues, and I was also struggling at the time, just like one of the other books we talked about. But for some reason, this book makes me feel really heavy to look at. I think this was in a time of my life that was so dark that it just, I don't even want the reminder that I related to this character. Like, I don't. That part of my life, I think, was so dark that even looking at this book, I don't enjoy the memory of it. So I am gonna get rid of this one, even though I didn't get rid of the last one. This one makes me feel heavy and sad, so I am gonna get rid of it. I don't know why I felt so sentimentally attached to the other Cassie West book. I feel like I don't really feel that attached. Well, maybe I do a little bit. Yeah, okay. I was gonna get rid of them, but I think I want to keep them. Come Back to Me by Jody Headland. I want to read it because it sounds like it rocks. It sounds like something I'd really enjoy. But I was listening to the audiobook and it cringed me out because the characters are scientists and they talk... Sorry. They talk like big dumb nerds. Like, I know scientists who talk like normal people. These guys talk like big dumb nerds who like they use big words for no reason. And it really cringes me out. This is like whenever an author writes characters in a different time period, but they're trying to like shove in old slang that just sounds clunky and like weird. That's what I get from these scientists. I'm sorry. It cringed me out so bad I had to stop reading the book. I'll keep it for now, but just know, like, I might not. I'll try again later, okay? But I might not. It might not happen. Another book that I like to think I'll read. But this is an academic book. And I could ward off an intruder with it, so... I mean, odds? Odds, friends? What do we... No. Hilarious. Hilarious. This one I think I'd enjoy, How to Be a Victorian. A Dawn to Dusk Guide to Victorian Life. But I feel like I'd like it a lot more as an audiobook. Okay, so we basically filled both totes full of books, which is awesome. I don't know exactly how many books that we threw in there. Maybe I'll count them, but we're thinking, I'm thinking we're gonna go tomorrow to sell those, and we'll just see what we get out of them. Hope you guys had fun with me. I hope you learned a little bit about selling your books at a half price books if you are considering going to one. You can also like pick up books while you're there and use the money that you got from them to buy the books that you've picked up while you're waiting for them to sort through your books. So it's generally, I think it's a pretty great experience. I had breakfast while I was out. It was super fun. Thank you guys for joining me. It was super fun having you. And I will see you guys next time here again at Hope Arts Library. Bye, guys.